This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, May the 23rd, Memorial Day weekend. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. There's a look at the temperature trace at my weather station in Helena. Thought it was an interesting trace yesterday. I just barely touched the 80-degree mark for my high. Most locations in central Alabama only reaching the upper 70s. High pressures continues to be the main surface feature over the eastern half of the country. In the upper atmosphere, we've been watching this trough that is keeping Texas and Oklahoma very wet, and that trough is finally kicking out. It's going to take it several days to do that. In the meantime, we're going to see our heights rise as we get upper ridging over the southeastern U.S., and that means a warmer day today than we saw yesterday as highs get into the lower 80s. The northeast counties of the Alabama starting out the day in the 40s. We've had a number of sky watchers at Black Creek as well as Nakalula Falls reporting lows in the 40s, and mentioned that it's wet out to our west, and indeed all that green area that you see across parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, the western Louisiana, and parts of Kansas, all that are flash flood watches and warnings. And then the blue areas up in New York, those are actually frost and freeze advisories. And the QPF for the next 5 days indeed showing a good amount of rain off to our west. We will see rain especially starting Monday, maybe the western sections on late Sunday. Storm Prediction Center for day one today, that's Saturday, is outlooking a slight risk in parts of West Texas, western Oklahoma, and parts of Colorado and the extreme western Kansas. For day two, that slight risk area shifts down into Texas primarily, surrounded by a fairly large marginal area. And then on day three, we see that the slight risk primarily in Texas, again with that marginal risk extending up to the Great Lakes. And we'll go ahead and mention it. There's no tropical cyclone activity expected during the next 48 hours, and we're on the verge of hurricane season beginning for 2015. All right, let's take a look at the 06Z GFS model run, and there's our upper air chart for today, and we can see the ridge coming over us with the trough off to our west. By Sunday, we can see that the trough inches closer, but the main action is still just to our west, so I think we stay dry in central Alabama for the most part. And the GFS seems to be agreeing with that evaluation, but the showers are going to be close, so it's one of those things that's kind of close. For Memorial Day, however, the ridge moves over to the coast of the U.S. and the East Coast, and we see that the trough coming out across West Texas and western Oklahoma, so that should bring a fairly widespread shower situation to much of the southeastern U.S. for Memorial Day for Monday. On Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day, as we head back to work, we see that the upper ridge is over the East Coast, and the trough is moving into the western Great Lakes, and that will be keeping a rather moist air mass across the southeastern U.S., so Tuesday looks like another day with some scattered showers. The trough moves across the western Great Lakes and across the lower Mississippi River Valley on Wednesday, so once again I think we see showers, maybe a few less showers on Wednesday. After that, the pattern becomes a little noisy, shall we say, as we see weak ridging occurring on Thursday and again on Friday, but we also have another little trough coming out of the Rockies, so that keeps us in a relatively moist air mass, so it looks like the latter part of the week will be characterized by 20 to 30% chance of showers driven primarily by the heat of the afternoon. And then on Saturday, the 30th, the last weekend of May, we see that that trough is coming across the Central Plains. And so once again, while there's a surface low and a front up that way, we're not seeing an air mass change, so it looks like we stay relatively wet. Looking out into Voodoo country, it looks like we do see a bit of a troughiness over the Ohio River Valley and down into the southeastern U.S. around the 1st of June. So that doesn't look particularly hot. It looks somewhat coolish. But we do note that by the end of the period around the 7th of June, we see that the main westerlies are along the U.S.-Canadian border, or it's just a little bit south of that. So we're getting weak ridging across the southern tier of the U.S., so it looks like a summertime weather pattern beginning to set up. That'll do it for the Weather Extreme video for this Saturday morning. I expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for the latest updates. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend.